Good afternoon, everyone. It is October 2nd, Wednesday, fifth period here at KIT Iizuka campus. This is the first class for English 7C, fifth period. I will be doing these videos every week, probably about 5 minutes, maybe 8 minutes per video. I want to go over all of the really important things like the assignments that you have for this week. And you can use this as kind of an English listening exercise. I'm going to take these videos, put them on YouTube. And in YouTube there, you can put in the English captions. So if there's something you don't understand, you can always just turn on the subtitles and YouTube will automatically translate everything I say from English into Japanese. Otherwise, you can use it as a kind of English listening practice. This video will probably be a little longer than the others because this is the very first one and I'm going to be explaining a few things about the class. Anyway, let's get started. All right. So the way I make my Moodle is the very first area, the very first section up here is all of the generally important information. So the general instruction section is the very first one. We'll be looking at that in a second, but each class has its own section. And at the very bottom of each class section are all of the assignments that you have to do. Now, the assignments themselves, you can see here for this week. The first one is the listening quiz. You can see, pardon me, clearly that's due in about 10 days, the listening quiz. Now, the listening quizzes themselves, like the reading quizzes and everything else, they're going to have a little bit of extra time. And with the quizzes, they're a Moodle quiz. And with the Moodle quiz, I set that so you can take each quiz 3 times. If you don't like the first time you took it, and you want to try it again, go ahead, try it again. Moodle will automatically record your best score. So even if you took it a 3rd time, but it turns out your first time was actually your best score, it will automatically remember only that one. So take it all 3 times, try to get the best score that you got. Now, listening quiz, and in this week also, there's a reflection that I want you to do. A reflection is basically a short written assignment. I'll talk a little bit more about that. But these are all things that you'll find at the bottom of each class, okay? And each class, class 1, class 2, they're all listed by the weeks that we go. On the calendar, some important things I want you to note is that, okay, right here, November, we go in November until November 20th, okay? And then we don't come back until December 11th. That's a basic schedule for the university. So that's the same schedule I'm going to be taking myself. But there are only going to be, for me, 2 classes in December, on the 11th and on the 18th, because the 25th, that's Christmas. So I'm going to make that an on-demand class. We're not going to be coming into the classroom. You'll just be doing all of these assignments by yourself at home and just follow all of the assignment schedules and deadlines as they are on here. I'll explain more about that before Christmas, but basically I'm telling you right now, Christmas, I don't have a class. And then we don't come back until January 8th, okay? And last, most important one is the class on February 5th. That's an optional class. You don't have to come unless I ask you to come. Okay, so if I say, Miss Suzuki, Miss Sato, please come on February 5th, you don't have to come. It's an option class. Okay, that's the way the university likes to do it. Those are the special dates that are in my calendar. Okay, now let's go back to the top of this. Okay, so after the general information, you'll also find that we have the syllabus and the academic calendar. And in my syllabus, you'll find here the list of all of the assignments and the general schedule of when I'll be giving them out. The reflections, those handwritten assignments, those will come out every week. The vocabulary quizzes themselves are given out once every 2 weeks. So in total, about 6 vocabulary quizzes. There were 4 listening quizzes, and there were 2 reading assignments and 2 speaking assignments. So I'll explain them as we come along, but basically you can see here you have a lot of assignments, but they're all on Moodle. So you can do them pretty much anytime you want. If you go ahead, though, be careful. There are some things that we're not going to be studying until it's time for you to actually do them. So don't go ahead too far. My warning, though, is that with a lot of my students who take my class, they did fairly well in the test, but it turns out they forgot or they didn't notice that there was a listening quiz that they didn't see, or they forgot to do this reading quiz. So be careful. Make sure that you see all of the assignments, and I'll be talking about them every week. If you want to get the best grade in my class, make sure that you do, at least try to do all of these quizzes and assignments, because if you get zero, that's a real waste, okay? Now, for the tests, okay, the tests are a fairly big part of things, and you'll get one in the first quarter and in the second quarter, and it's in two parts. The first part is listening and vocabulary, which we do on Moodle, do it in class. And then the second part will be a speaking test. Okay. Now, the speaking test itself, I designed that speaking test for a large class, 20 people, 25 people. And if there are only 3 people, if there are only 8 people, it will be a little bit different, but it will still be a speaking test. So there will be a Moodle test, listening and vocabulary test, and a speaking test, first quarter, second quarter. Okay. And yeah, that's about it. Now, about these reflections. So for example, this week, you have your, sorry, hang on, it takes a second to load. You have your first reflection here, okay? Reflection number 1. Now, what I want in the reflection is I want to see your writing skill. So in the reflection, the assignment is to write 2 or 3 sentences just to say hello. And of course, I want you to write in English. But this is what I want you to do. I want you to take a piece of paper, a bit of A4 or B5 paper, and I want you to use a ball pen, okay? Don't use a sharp pen or a pencil because sometimes it's hard to read, okay? In ball pen, write whatever the assignment says to write, okay? Then, using your smartphone, I want you to take a picture of what you wrote, okay? Now, of course, I want you to use your own English, and I won't be checking so much about your spelling or your grammar. I want you to just write as much as you can, okay? Take a picture, and then that picture, I want you to, whoops, let me change this to students. I want you in Moodle to submit that from your phone or submit it from your computer. It doesn't really matter. Probably it's easiest. That's why I told you put your Moodle on your smartphone, because then take the picture, then immediately do the drag and drop from your phone straight to Moodle. Okay. In any case, write what you're going to write, take the picture, send it up to Moodle. All of these reflections, I give them out on Wednesday, and they're due on Friday at 11 o'clock at night. Okay, so I have a couple of days to do it. Don't kill yourself too much, as I said, about grammar or vocabulary. Just try to write easily, try to write quickly, try to write fluently, take a picture, send it to Moodle. Okay, so your first one will be this one. Say hello. Basically, just say hello to me. Tell me what you think. Mr. Cruz, I don't like English. Please teach me. That's fine, okay? But if you can tell me a bit more about yourself, a bit more about what you're thinking about English, that would actually be helpful to me too. From next week, we'll start with things like the listening quiz and the vocabulary quiz. We'll also start today with actually studying vocabulary, because all of those things are important. And every week, as we start to do these assignments, I'll explain them in a little bit more detail. And if you ever have any questions, okay, at the very top of our Moodle is my email, jdmcruz@gmail.com. Please don't hesitate. Contact me with any questions you have or any problems that you find on the Moodle, and I'll try to respond as quickly and as well as I can. Okay. And let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just for the video, just for the people who might be coming later, what I want to do today is, in that first section, there's a section called software downloads. And you can probably access this on your own Moodle. And I would access it actually both on your computer and on your smartphone. And I want to, especially because this is a small class right now, only 3 people, I want to introduce you to 2 pieces of software. One is called Quizlet and one is called Duolingo. Now, both of these are actually going to be on your, actually, let me put my, okay, yeah, put my phone on here. Both of these are actually pieces of software that you can get on your smartphone. I have an iPhone, but here's Duolingo right here. Okay, that's Duolingo, and here is Quizlet. Now, both of these we're going to download today, and we're going to be making accounts if you haven't done it yet. But those will be very important for our class. So from here, after I finish this recording, we're going to download that software, and I'm going to teach you how to use it. Okay. So again, for the people who are watching this video, if you have any questions, please contact me at jdmcruz@gmail.com. Otherwise, I hope you come next week, and let's have a good class today. Thanks very much, everyone.